Moving from New York City to Boston, well, let's talk about 10 key differences between the two cities. I'm Sebastian Roy, host of Massachusetts Living and Realtor, and I make these videos to provide you with valuable insight about life in Massachusetts. If you're considering a move or just curious about what it's like living in Massachusetts, give me a call, text, or email anytime, and I would be happy to chat. Alright, since you're probably already familiar with the New York City lifestyle, from the giant skyscrapers and masses of people to the extravagant nightlife and entertainment choices and the high cost of living, today we're diving into what you can expect when moving from New York City to Boston. Now, I'm no Bostonian, but I do have family that has lived in Boston for decades, so I've visited the city many times, and here's what I found to be most notable. The first difference I noticed between the two cities immediately was population density. Although New York City covers about 300 square miles and is roughly 6 times larger than Boston at just under 50 square miles, New York City has more than 10 times the population at roughly 7.8 million residents compared to Boston's 675,000 residents. So yeah, New York City is much larger than Boston. The next difference I noticed was the weather. New York City is known to have more milder weather than Boston, with less snowfall during the winter. Boston's annual high temperature is 56 degrees Fahrenheit, with average summer temps averaging 82 degrees and average winter temperatures averaging 29 degrees Fahrenheit. But on windy days, temperatures can drop an additional 20 degrees when factoring in the wind chill, so take that into consideration, but this doesn't happen all that often. The average precipitation levels is about 43 inches per year, and that includes snowfall. And although these numbers might seem frightening, the winters in Massachusetts have been warmer and with less snow than, say, about last decade. Now let's talk housing costs, which is arguably the most important factor. The average home sales price in New York over the last year was $733,000 compared to Boston's $714,000, which is relatively close in price. And the average rent in New York City for a 2-bedroom apartment is $4,800 per month, while Boston's average rent is $3,400 per month for a comparable 2-bedroom. How's the traffic in Boston? Well, Boston's traffic is notorious and considered one of the worst in the U.S. In 2020, it earned the title of the worst traffic in the country, with drivers losing around 149 hours of commuting time in 2019 due to congestion. Even with changes post-COVID, traffic remains a significant issue, especially on roads like I-93 and the Mass Pike. The city's unique layout, lack of a grid system, constant detours, and efforts to accommodate bikers have made driving and parking challenging. Public transportation is a common choice for residents because it takes away some of the frustration. However, it also comes with its own set of complexities. Overall, Boston's traffic is a daily struggle for residents, but isn't known to be any worse than New York City's traffic. I think traffic congestion is just a part of living in any big city and is a factor to consider. Maybe that's why so many people choose to walk or bike. If you found this video helpful so far, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can easily come back to this channel for more videos like this one. Alright, taxes. As some jokingly call the Bay State Taxachusetts, Boston does contribute to our nickname, but it's not the sole culprit. Boston itself is reasonable compared to New York City. There's no separate city tax, and property tax is quite fair as well. Next up is one that I'm not proud of, but Massachusetts generally has a reputation for unfriendliness. Apparently, Business Insider once ranked Boston as the 5th rudest city in the nation. Now, I would say we're just more candid and straightforward than other states, but it's not about being unfriendly, it's just about being reserved, but that's my opinion. Maybe the traffic congestion has something to do with it. I've also heard others describe Boston as being very neighborhoody. Boston is a city, but it's made up of numerous neighborhoods, such as the North End and the South End, to name a couple. This layout offers diversity where each neighborhood has its own vibe, which attracts different demographics. So it's about finding which neighborhood suits you best. The next difference between New York City and Boston is a big one: Boston's love for sports. If you're a fan of the Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, or Red Sox, you're in good company in Boston. But if you root for another team, especially a less esteemed one, Bostonians might view you with suspicion. The passion for sports in Boston is truly intense. Definitely be ready for many die-hard sports fans. There's also no happy hour in Boston due to a statewide law prohibiting happy hour. If you've experienced the vibrant nightlife of cities like New York, Boston might not impress. Bars close early compared to New York, usually at 1 or 2 a.m. However, Boston is known to have the most exciting nightlife in Massachusetts, so the city would be the place to go if you want a memorable night out in the Bay State. And finally is Boston's school system. Massachusetts ranks for the best public school system in the country, but the Boston school system doesn't share the same reputation. This is partially due to the large attendance rates compared to other Massachusetts towns. While some schools rank high nationally, the overall district ranks low for the state. However, factors like administration based on zip codes and the income level of students impact the overall system's performance. Okay, well that's a wrap on my list of things I think you should know when moving from New York City to Boston. Whether you're moving next month or next year, reach out for me for more info or to discuss the real estate market. My contact details are in the description below. And finally, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.